What is going on, everybody? This is Twigger with another high ELO commentary match, a featured stream featuring Pobelter. Yes, Pobelter. Pobelter was the top lane player for Curse Gaming. I believe he's still technically on their roster, but he was kind of replaced by Curse Westrice, who's now playing the top lane in tournaments for Team Curse, because Pobelter is actually quite young and couldn't attend a lot of the tournaments, and also because of his age, really couldn't move out into the Curse house that they ended up getting. So glad to kind of see Pobelter back in the ranked scene, doing a little bit of work here on his Nidalee up top. By the looks of things, he's going a little bit more AD Nidalee rather than AP. And we've also actually got, just looking at the other names that are in here, Pobelter is on here, and if I'm not mistaken, he was the AP mid champion, or sorry, mid summoner for Orbit Gaming. I don't know if he still plays for them, but if you guys know if he's still on or off the team, let me know. But we're going to be following Pobelter here, and as you guys can see, I finally have gotten into a game where there has been no action at the beginning of the game. So we're going to be able to see everything. We're going to be able to see First Blood. We're going to be able to see exactly what happens at the beginning, because as a lot of you are probably aware, if you've watched my high ELO commentaries, I am not exactly the best at catching those early game fights. So the beginning of the game just looks like it's going to be a lot of farming, especially up in this top lane. Very difficult to really kill somebody as Nidalee at the beginning of the game. Really doesn't do a whole ton of damage. Does do great harass. You can constantly poke your opponent. Makes for very good kind of advantage in lane, that your opponent is always going to be almost at half health when they finally do decide to engage you. And it kind of thwarts junglers' attempts to come up into the lane, because if you're too low, the jungler doesn't really want to help you, because it's probably not going to be a successful gank anyways. As you can see, Pobelter is really pushing this lane up. The only problem about pushing this lane up, even though she does have a, well, I was going to say she has a 2 level advantage, but really it's just because of this big wave that has not yet been farmed. There was a gank down here in bottom. Amumu is now in there, but there's obviously a ward from blue team, so Amumu is just going to kind of back out there. What I was just saying about up here, Irelia is probably arguably one of the best under turret farmers there is, just because of that ability to reset her Q. Really difficult to kind of deny her CS. As you can see, the tower doesn't really affect her farming very much at all. I should actually set up this this champion mode down here. I always tend to forget to do this, so I will do this while I'm thinking about it. And there we go, we are all set up. So we have an Orianna and a Katarina in the mid lane. Orianna has really started to come back into the ranked scene. She's really now made her way back into the meta. She used to be really strong, and then she kind of fell off. There were champions that did a lot better than her. I wonder actually if Reginald from Team Solo Mid is now playing her, because Reginald would always say that he never wanted to play Ahri because Ahri always makes him look stupid, because her skill shots are very small, very difficult to hit, and she's a very different kind of play style. She's more of a utility mid rather than a kind of the standard balls to the wall aggression. She can be very, very aggressive, because she does do quite a bit of damage now that she's been a little bit kind of reworked. But glad to see that she's kind of back in the mid lane. She is a very strong champion, and as we all saw in the Season 2 tournament that's currently going on, Orianna has just been a prime pick to get. Everybody seems to want Orianna for her utility and for her damage. Malphite's coming up for a gank on Irelia here, but they do not know that Amumu is sitting right in that brush, but she's going to take a lot of damage before the jump onto Pobelter. This is going to be enough for First Blood, so very well done. Having the ability to stun from a distance and bring himself in, and then Irelia just followed up right after with her Q, and they were both right on top, smack dab on top of her. I did miss a kill down here. I'm just going to rewind that a little bit, just so that way... Oh, I did it way too far forward, didn't I? There we go. So, I wonder how this one happens. Not really a whole ton of damage being done on either lane, so... I'm just going to kind of... Oh, there's the stun, so Sivir did not block that stun with her spell shield. And the Ignite goes down onto Sivir. Corki ends up killing Sivir first. They're going to try to do as much damage to Sona as they can, but Corki is dangerously low. She does end up getting the kill onto Corki, so kind of unfortunate that he had to fall for that one. But once again, it's kind of that trade that you actually do want to make. Corki ended up getting a kill and Sona ended up getting the kill. So you much rather have your AD carry getting a kill than your support. And Tarek and Sona probably really appreciate this because now they get to kind of farm in lane, get a little bit of CS. For any of you support players out there, I know how important just getting even a couple CS. Like if Tarek can get up to 10 at the end of this, that makes a gigantic difference. He's going to be able to get his Philosopher's Stone a little bit earlier. It makes a huge difference just getting a little bit of CS here. And he's just trying to do a little bit of harassment onto Sona. She's actually getting quite low, and Corki is coming back, but now Tarek's put himself in a bad low position here. Is Sivir going to be able to finish this up? They did not take down Sona's, and she just hits level 6 in perfect timing to thwart the attack from Corki. So kind of a dangerous play by Tarek, and it did not end up paying off. I do just want to see the kill that happened up here. No, okay, I'm just going to apparently continuously watch that in loop. So Katarina getting a lot of damage down onto Orianna. She's going to have to farm under turret a little bit. Orianna's not exactly the best under turret farmer, but she can do it, and obviously she's doing pretty darn well in that one. I think Katarina's probably just going to try to jump on her and try to cast her ultimate, but if Orianna has her ultimate as well, there's the ultimate from Orianna. Katarina's not even bothered. Oh, her ultimate is down. She tried to use it before and failed to do so. Well, failed to get the kill on Orianna, so kind of unfortunate for Katarina that her ultimate was down at that point. And so, nice kill for Orianna. You do not want Orianna to get kills because she just snowballs so well into the game with her utility and her damage. And as Katarina, you really need those kills. And as we can see, Katarina's gone for the Cage's lucky pick, wants a little bit of gold per 5. Probably going to end up going for that Deathfire Grasp quite quickly. Get that real burst damage out, and then she can kind of shun Poe out of the fight if she really wanted to. Pobelter now does have his cat form. Opted to go for the Chalice of Harmony. I don't see that very often on a Nidalee. I guess he really wants to spam out his spells when he's not in cat form. Pobelter taking a crap ton of damage from Irelia here, but she does not want to dive this one, so smart move on Irelia's part, not diving this. But the thing about Pobelter now is having that Chalice of Harmony. He's just going to be able to spam his heal, and he'll be up to full health, and Irelia will still be at half. Big damage going out onto Orianna here, but that speed bonus from her Dissonance is just going to get her right out of there. She did notice that they warded right up there. I think the reason for that was so that Katarina can shun Poe over the wall to try to kill Orianna if she tried to run up back into mid through that way. But it does not look like that's going to happen. So here comes Malphite. He is level 6. And back in comes Amumu. He's level 6 as well, and he has not popped his ultimate. So this is a very, very scary position to be in if you're a mid champion. So there's the ultimate cast by Amumu, doing a lot of damage onto Orianna. They're going to kill Orianna, and they're not going to kill Katarina. So great play by Amumu, and they actually jump in and get the double kill. Amumu tanking that turret for just long enough. Beautiful play by the purple team. Amumu flashing in and getting that ultimate off, because if he ultimates first, Malphite will not be able to ultimate during that time, and Katarina had spread herself out so perfectly that they couldn't get to her. Malphite even wasted his ultimate kind of trying to pick her up, but obviously he didn't do nearly enough damage to actually take her out. Just looking down at this bottom lane again, going to look at the CS a little bit. Corki's sitting at 70 and Sivir sitting at 69, so a very, very even lane down here. Also just looking at top lane, 70 for Pobelter on Nidalee and 60 for Irelia, so a little bit of a lead there for Nidalee. 55 to 37 for Orianna in the mid lane, so winning mid lane definitely. Katarina still didn't get a kill for that. It was Amumu who picked it up, so Amumu's sitting at 2-0-1, so he is going to be quite a scary jungler in a little bit. You really want those kills to land onto your AP carries and your AD carries, so it's not a bad thing for Amumu to get a couple early kills, because then his jungle presence is just going to be great. And as we can see, he built Sorcerer Shoes. It seems as though he's kind of going for a bit more of an AP. Not saying that he's not building tanky, because he does have 60 armor and 51 magic resist. He is probably going to be very tanky, but I think he also wants his abilities to do quite a bit of damage. And as you can see, it actually worked out perfectly for him in that last fight, is that he was able to chase down Orianna, and he was doing a decent amount of damage, and she could not really escape him. So it's going to make a big difference. His AoE damage is actually quite a bit. If any of you have ever played AP Amumu in things like Dominion, he actually does a ton of damage. So not expecting to see a full AP Amumu here. He has gotten a couple Doran's rings, but do expect him to get a little bit of AP just to to help out the team and help do quite a bit more damage in team fights with his AoE. So looking back up top here, just more farm, more harassment, 85 to 74. So the lead is pretty much the same as what it was before. Really taking a tower hit there. Pobelter is getting dangerously low, though. He's going to have to really heal this up. His heal's on a 10-second cooldown, so it is quite a long heal. Malphite's coming in to try to gank Aurelia here. Malphite's ultimate is up, but I don't think they're going to have the type of damage they need to take down this Aurelia. And if Pobelter kind of gets in there, Aurelia's just going to jump in on her, which she's trying to do. And Malphite uses his ultimate now. Pobelter misses the spear. So that really sucks. Pobelter missed that spear, and now Aurelia's jumping back in now that Amumu's here, but Amumu does miss his stun. His ultimate is up, though. His flash is not. There's the ultimate cast only on Malphite. Pobelter's going to try to take down. He does take down Aurelia. Now Pobelter really needs to get out of here. This AP Amumu is actually going to start doing a lot of damage. They do manage to slow him down with that Malphite Q. Pobelter's trying to kind of kite him around a little bit, but the red buff is just too much. So red buff just slowed Nidalee down just long enough for Amumu to take down that take down Nidalee. Nidalee was just kind of trying to poke Amumu, trying to get some damage down. There is a fight going down here at bottom. Tarek taking a lot of damage from this Sivir, and that is going to be enough to take him down. Corki's dangerously low as well, so must have been just a very, yeah, it was a very nicely timed ultimate. Probably landed on both of them. If you combo Sona's ultimate with Sivir's Boomerang Blade, is that what it's called? It's called Boomerang Blade, right? I always just end up calling it Boomerang, yeah, or her Q. So Boomerang Blade, if you land both procs on that, it ends up doing a crap ton of damage, especially at the lower levels. And if Sona, of course, casts her Q and hits both of you, and then she lands her power chord, you're going to be taking a lot of damage from both of those players. And not to mention also the attack damage bonus Sivir is getting from Sona's Q. So very scary lane down there. Katarina bursting her ultimate to try to kill Orianna here. There's the protect coming up. Orianna does not have her ultimate. No, she doesn't. It's on cooldown, so Katarina could not kill Orianna, which is, once again, very unfortunate. Katarina really wants those kills, but just cannot seem to land them. But it is doing, it is kind of showing that Katarina is getting up there, because Orianna could usually just burst Katarina down, but apparently her ultimate and her ignite were down, so obviously Katarina is getting to the point where she can survive that burst from Orianna, so Katarina does become a scary champion in the late game if she can get some farm and if she can get some kills, but right now Orianna is kind of dominating her in farm. So we're going to have to see how that mid lane plays out. It's going to be quite a crucial lane in this game. Aurelia once again coming up here and trying to bully Pobelter and doing quite a good job, but now here comes Pobelter. But here comes Amumu missing that bandage toss by just a few pixels, which really sucks. But there's the ultimate again from Amumu. Oh my god. It's just always up. So Amumu, is he going to be able to land this Q? There's the stun, and he does manage to pick it up. So Amumu just doing work. So quite impressive. His ultimate seems to always be up, which is pretty darn impressive. Oh, there we go. I was trying to figure out how I could bring those things up, but I'm not going to do that yet. I just want to see what's going down bottom here, but Malphite is opting not to go and do that. Just seeing Amumu, he actually has no cooldown reduction. That really surprises me. I guess he did have the blue buff, I believe, when he went up for that first gank and used his ultimate. So maybe that blue buff helped him get it a bit quicker, but man, it just seems to always be up. So what is his ultimate cooldown sitting at? 130 seconds, so still a decently long time, but it seems to be coming up exactly when he needs it. So good on him. He's playing very, very well. He did opt to go for that Aegis of the Legion, so as I was kind of saying, I didn't expect to see a full AP Amumu build. That rocket did stop Sona, but they were just trying to stop her from going B. So what I was just saying is that I was not expecting to see a full AP Amumu, but having that little bit of AP and the Sorcerer Shoes to get that magic pen. There's the heal onto Katarina. Big Malphite ult coming in. Amumu picking up another kill. He's 5-0-1. Malphite running away from his support, which is not a great idea. Stopping that Amumu in his tracks, but this is going to be enough. Sona ends up picking up Nubby Pooh Bear as well. So, boy, starting to snowball a little bit out of control here. Even with the 6 kill difference, though. Oh, Corki got a little bit trapped here. He's going to try to just one-on-one this Sivir. And will he do it? He actually manages to do it, but the Ignite ends up taking Corki down. So Actually not a bad thing, because he was going to die from Sona and Amumu, so kind of glad that he's probably quite happy that Sivir just got the kill there and that there were no assists given to the enemy team, because the last thing that you want is to give more assists than necessary. Puts the enemy team just a little bit further ahead. So purple team ends up picking up that dragon. So as I was just saying before, it's a little bit different now. I was going to say with that the 6 kill difference, sorry. There is only about a 4k gold lead. Before it was a little bit less, but 4k gold is quite a bit, especially only at 16 minutes. The good thing about having this Amumu jungle and Katarina mid is that Amumu can grab every single blue buff that he wants. So his cooldowns are going to be a lot less, which means his ultimate's going to be up a lot more frequently, which means that his ganking presence is going to be immense. I'm just going to look at the farm. I haven't done that in quite some time. Nidalee sitting at 122 to 113 of Irelia. Really hasn't changed a whole lot up in that top lane. Orianna sitting at 124 to Katarina's 106. Still kind of the same as what it was before. Corki sitting at 135 to 145 of Sivir. So Sivir has started to pull ahead in that lane. So it is starting to slowly but surely come into favor of purple team. So they really have to be wary of that. The only real saving grace that blue team had was that they had a bit more farm. But now it's not even looking like that's going to matter. So we do have, well, now it's going to be 4 members of purple team in the mid lane, so they are going to have to try to defend this turret. Amumu is coming down as well. Amumu is sitting at 502. He has his Aegis of the Legion and his Giant's Belt. He is just a monster right now. 2500 HP, 160 armor, 105 magic resist. The guy is just a tank, and he's got his chain vest as well, and he also does damage. So you really don't want him to be alive for too long, because he's doing a lot of damage to your team, but you can't focus him because he's just so damn tanky. So great work on this Amumu so far. Pobelter pushing that top turret. Top turret is going to go down, but Irelia doesn't even want to chase Pobelter. It's very, very difficult to chase in Nidalee. Completely infuriating that she gets away nearly every single time. There was a kill. I don't even know where this was. Oh, it was over in the middle. So that was a great little fight there. So I do want to see exactly what happened here. Looks like Taric and Corki are the only ones here. They do see Sona. There's the stun onto Sona. A lot of damage coming out from Corki. So the Sona ult misses. That's exactly what it was. The Sona ult ended up missing. They stun Katarina, so her ultimate doesn't really do a lot. Great stun flash by Amumu, killing that Corki. But now there's going to be a lot of damage out onto this Amumu. He's alone with 4 members of the blue team doing damage to him. He's going to try to Q onto these Wraiths, but Malphite does end up stopping that Q. He body blocked it, so very nice fight by the blue team. Corki and Taric just doing work on Katarina and Sona. Sona missing her ultimate, which could have been a big factor in that fight. They might have been able to double kill the blue team if Sona had landed that ultimate, but she didn't, so they ended up getting double killed. Great play by Amumu, but sadly he was a little bit far in, and he didn't realize that the other 4 members of the team were all going to kind of close in on him. So the ultimate from Orianna landing, they do manage to, Sivir manages to stop that stun with their spell shield, so they couldn't really amount to anything on that kill for Sivir. But great, if you're at this much of a disadvantage, it was 4,000 gold not a couple minutes ago. You need to have plays like that where you just take out a couple people, and they got the shutdown on Amumu, and it was Pobelter who got the shutdown on Amumu, so that's going to work out very nicely for him, a nice chunk of change. And as we can see, the difference in gold is now only 2,000. So made a huge difference getting that shutdown and getting those couple kills. Really put themselves back into the game here, even though they are still down by 4 kills and a dragon. But they've also taken down these 2 middle turrets, but the turrets are even because they did manage to take down bottom. Orianna really trying to put some pressure onto Sivir here. Oh, I really wanted that spear to hit. So I don't seem to understand what Pobelter is building here. So Katarina trying to do a lot of damage to Pobelter here, but it really didn't amount to anything. I was going to say big spear by Pobelter, but it really wasn't all that big. Here comes Irelia to try to do some damage to Pobelter. The exhaust ends up going down on Pobelter, so interesting kind of, I don't know if that was a panic play or if Sona thought that Irelia was going to really engage onto Pobelter here, but once again a whiffed Sona ult, so really not good. She really needs to start hitting those. Sona ultimate is just such a game-changing ability. I do want to see just what happened on the other side. I was focusing on what Pobelter was doing, but just before this whole thing happened, just the Sona ultimate is such a game-changing ultimate. Something kind of like a Mumu's ultimate. If you cannot land those, your team is going to have a big problem in the late game. They're having a problem now not being able to land those. You can't really secure kills because Nidalee would have been dead if Sona had landed that ultimate. So there's a stun onto a Mumu. Tarek just gets taken down so quickly. Was kind of a little bit overextended there. He really didn't have his team backing him up. There's the Malphite ultimate onto the Katarina. Great amount of damage, taking her out very quickly. Orianna picking up that kill. And it looks like that's all that happened. So great little pickup. So they traded the support for the mid player. So once again, great trade from Purple. You really don't mind if your support dies, but you should really mind if your AP carry dies. And Katarina's sitting at 0-4-5, so she's getting a lot of assists, but that's not what you want on your AP carry. You really want those kills. You really want your carry to snowball out of control. And Katarina is one of those champions that really can snowball out of control, especially on a team that really doesn't have a whole ton of ways to stop her ultimate. They do have quite a bit with Malphite's ultimate and Orianna's ultimate. The main one, though, is going to be Tarek's stun, because Malphite's ultimate is probably going to be comboed with Orianna's ultimate. She puts the ball as a protection onto Malphite. Malphite ultimates in, and it extends the reach of Orianna's ball, and then she casts her ultimate. So it's pretty much like a homing missile ultimate. So it's really Tarek who it's going to be down to stop Katarina's ultimate. And if they manage to do that, her damage is pretty much going to be completely nullified. She does do still quite a bit of damage, but her ultimate is the key thing that she has. If you let her ultimate go all the way through, it's going to wreak havoc on your team. Got to take a nice little sip of tea there. Yeah, I drink tea. What of it? So Irelia coming down here. Don't know if she's actually going to start the dragon. Blue team does know that Irelia is there, but neither team actually has sight of this dragon, so if someone like Corki were to go around at the backside of dragon, they would have absolutely no idea. They are going to go ahead and start this dragon. Once again, they do have knowledge that they are there, and they now can see Katarina, but they're not even going to get in time. They're not even really going to contest that, so kind of interesting that they really didn't want to contest that at all. Orianna just kind of using her ball on Katarina that was sitting in the brush and not even really throwing it towards the entire team. Maybe to try to steal Dragon or anything like that, but you know what? These guys are professional. Oh, that's probably why Pobelter wasn't even with them. He was way up top, destroying that turret and taking... Well, he already took down the turret, but trying to take down this inner turret. So not a horrible move. It's actually starting to make a little bit of a difference here, because Nidalee is now sitting at 194 CS to Irelia's 160. And look at that, Orianna 182 CS to Katarina's 130. So not only is Katarina losing in kills, she's also greatly losing in CS, which is not good, because you would hope that if you're not getting the kills, you should at least be getting the CS. So Pobelter did manage to kill that turret, but he's going to pay with it with his life. Really not an awful trade. That turret is definitely worth more than a champion kill. Tarek is sitting in here, and he's going to get stunned by a Mumu. He's all alone. Blows his flash to try to get away from a Mumu. Manages to stun him and burst the exhaust, but Mumu's going to land his Q and just kill him. So, don't know why Tarek kind of stood there to take out those little wraiths, but whatever, up to him. Corki having to flash over this brush, but followed by two champions just flashing right over to get that kill. So, really wanted to secure that kill. Katarina died up here to Malphite, so I don't think I should really rewind that. I think we all just kind of know that she got jumped. So just going to continue on this game. Wow, he actually misses stun. If she had gotten stunned there, it might have been a very good chance that Purple Team would have jumped right in on her and tried to kill her. But didn't end up doing that, so Orianna can kind of counter Blessing, but here comes Amumu popping that ultimate, making sure that Orianna cannot get away. Purple team is tanking this turret for an awfully long time, though. Amumu's going to fall to that turret. They're doing a lot of damage, and this turret is just doing work. Can Malphite actually clean that up? He does manage to clean up Irelia, but Malphite ends up falling as well, and Taric ended up falling to Sivir. So, really, I would have thought that there would have been more damage, but I guess Corki wasn't there, so the turret, the main thing why that fight was successful for the purple team was because Amumu has so much armor and he's so tanky. Oh, Pobelter, you need to get out of here. You don't know that Sivir's there. Oh, Pobelter, come on. So, he got sucked in by the support. He got support baited. So, that really sucks. I think he just thought that he could kill the support really quickly, but obviously that was Sona's plan, right? Sivir was right behind and managed to take Pobelter out. So, I'm going to follow this Orianna, kind of see what path she's going to be taking. Looking at the farm, 197 for Orianna here to 143 for Katarina, 202 for Corki to 250 of Sivir. So, the mid lane farm difference is actually going the opposite way in bottom lane, so really kind of evening out on the global gold here. And as we can see, we are back to a 4K gold difference, so really not the best thing after them picking up that second dragon. Really wasn't the best thing to have happen. And they are starting to pick up more kills. They're 8 kills behind now, this blue team, so really not a good thing. So not really a whole ton of action going on here. Just kind of waiting for somebody to either make a mistake or for someone just to get really aggressive. So we do have purple team kind of bunching up here. They are going to actually attempt this the Baron. They don't. Katarina did just blow her ultimate. Really didn't do much damage at all, but they do have this nicely warded. They don't seem to want to go in on this Baron. They're just going to pick it up for free. They waited for so long up here to, I don't know if they were just poking people or waiting for Malphite to get in or anything like that, but they didn't even bother to engage. So Orianna taking a crap ton of damage from this Irelia. Sona actually manages to land her stun onto 3 members of the blue team. They're just getting dropped like flies here. And look at that damage. So Pobelter drops as well from Katarina. Katarina, it's still only sitting at 157, but this is going to be a free inhibitor. There's not really a whole lot that the blue team can do about this. The inhibitor is going to go down. They could probably end the game here. They've got another 20 seconds before the next major threat really comes up. So Corki is still up, but Corki's not even coming to do anything. I don't really know what's going on. I think maybe they're just kind of giving up. It looks like this is going to be the end of the game here, so sorry to see. They were playing extremely timid, though, so I think that did end up being their downfall, is that they were waiting for so long to go in on that Baron. Blue team did not try to engage on that second dragon. They didn't even, Orianna wasn't even using her ball to scout out the dragon. She was just kind of poking around with Katarina and did the same thing at Baron, and it ended up with a defeat. So sorry, Pobelter, but your team played quite passively and really didn't engage the way that they wanted to. And really, that Amumu was just huge in that game with his early game presence and his ganking. And even Sona managed to get 6 kills, 10 assists. So really well played by the purple team. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this game. Really glad that I could make a cast to curse Pobelter. So really great game. Quite a quick game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next High ELO commentary. Peace.